Have you ever wondered why some words take only a few seconds to say, yet a lifetime cannot take them back? Sometimes the height of strength does not lie in winning an argument, but in your ability to maintain silence while your heart is in turmoil. Welcome back to my Buddha Essence Wisdom channel. This is where we sit together to contemplate the golden teachings of the Buddha, helping our daily lives become more peaceful and gentle. If you love these mindful values, please joyfully subscribe to the channel to support me and give me more motivation to create the next videos. My friends, especially the brothers and sisters who have passed the age of 30 or the elders in the twilight of their lives, at this age we often carry many responsibilities and a fairly large ego. We have experienced enough to feel confident in our perspectives, but because of that we easily fall into the trap of reacting quickly. When someone says something we disagree with, or a loved one does something that displeases us, anger flares up like a sudden fire. Instinctively, we want to strike back using the sharpest words to protect our ego. But the Buddha taught that conquering 1,000 troops is not equal to conquering oneself. Have you ever felt regret immediately after uttering a bitter word to your spouse or children? I want you to imagine this words spoken in anger are like nails driven into a tree. Even if you pull the nails out and apologize later, the deep scars remain and never fully disappear. From the perspective of someone who has observed and shared Buddhist teachings for many years, I realize that the true mettle of a mature person lies not in the speed of their response, but in the ability to stop. When anger arrives, your heart rate increases and your breathing becomes heavy. This is the body's alarm. If you choose to react at this moment, you are being controlled by ignorance. Instead, I advise you to practice a habit. Take a deep breath and hold a golden silence before speaking. Just 3 seconds. That silence is the boundary between an ordinary person and a wise one. A deep breath sends oxygen to the brain, calming the nervous system and helping your mind detach from temporary anger. You know, in real life, the person who conquers their anger is the one who truly masters their life. Do not let your mouth get ahead of your head, only to let the merit accumulated over many years be burned away in a single minute of heat. Practice living a bit slower and speaking a bit less to make your heart lighter. My friends, there is a truth we only realize with a shock when we cross to the other side of life's slope. Everyone's energy has an expiration date. Imagine your energy like water in a jar. If you keep letting it leak through useless things, by the time you need to nourish important matters, the jar will be dry. Many of us spend all day complaining about the weather, about children. We're spending hours trying to explain ourselves to someone who inherently does not want to understand us. Have you ever felt exhausted and dizzy after a pointless argument? That is when your wisdom is being clouded by an excessive waste of energy. The Buddha taught that when you choose to speak less, it is not because you are losing or becoming morose, but because you are learning to accumulate life energy. From a practical standpoint, every word spoken consumes vitality and agitates the mind. When the mouth stops working excessively, the eyes and the mind truly begin to work. I want you to contemplate this when facing a difficulty in your family or career. Instead of immediately complaining or blaming, choose silence and observation. This silence creates a quiet space within, helping you see through the nature of suffering. You will see clearly why the problem arose and where the knot needs to be untied. Psychological science also shows that people who control their speech often have a much better ability to focus and solve problems. When the mind is no longer busy with explanations, it becomes extraordinarily clear. That clarity is the seed of wisdom, helping you make wise decisions for your children's future or important steps in your work. Do not turn yourself into a loudspeaker broadcasting afflictions. Turn yourself into an oil lamp quietly shining, yet illuminating every corner of your inner self. Saving your words is how you nourish your soul, so that when necessary, every word you utter carries the weight of understanding and love. In the world of sharing Dharma on YouTube, there is a saying we take to heart: the mouth is the gateway to disaster and blessing. Try to pause for a moment and think most of the storms in the family, the friction with colleagues, or the heartbreaking pain between people. Don't they mostly originate from this mouth? The ancients and the Buddha both taught that for someone who wants to cultivate the mind, the first and most important thing is to manage their mouth. Speech karma is actually the most honest summary of a person's life. When you look at how a person speaks, you see their level of cultivation and their future. If the mouth always speaks words that are fabricated, stabbing, or malicious, then no matter how much your mind says you are good, the seeds of suffering have already been sown. I want you to imagine this: every kind word you utter is like a blooming lotus spreading a fragrance that cools the listener's soul. Conversely, a harsh word in a moment of anger is like a poisoned arrow. It not only pierces the opponent's heart, but also leaves poison in the blood of the one who shot it. Have you ever felt heavy-hearted and anxious right after speaking ill of someone? That is the sign of karma beginning to operate at that very moment. With the experience of someone who has gone before, I noticed that many elders and friends, despite going to the temple often and making sincere offerings frequently, let the fire from their mouths burn down their entire forest of merit. Just one uncontrolled sentence is enough to shatter a relationship of several decades. Therefore, speaking gently and moderately is not being fake. It is how you sow precious seeds of good fortune for your own future. Remember, a person who knows how to cultivate is one who knows how to stop and filter their words before speaking. Ask yourself, is saying this useful? Will saying this hurt anyone? If you can practice speaking gently even to those who hurt you. That is when your wisdom is truly sprouted. There's a very beautiful image in Buddhism that I always want you to keep in your heart: a still lake. Imagine when the lake's surface has no ripples. It can clearly reflect every white cloud, every high mountain, and the vast sky. Just by throwing a small pebble, and all those images vanish and become distorted immediately. Our minds are exactly like that. The outside world is always full of noise, gossip, and endless judgments. If you let your ears chase after praise and blame, or let your heart drift toward explaining your rightness at all costs, you are throwing boulders into the lake of your own consciousness. Have you ever felt tired of trying to live just to please the world? I want you to understand that when you are still sad over a stranger's comment, or staying up all night thinking of a way to respond to an insult, you are becoming a slave to someone else's emotions. You are handing the key to your happiness to someone who does not love you. From the perspective of a longtime practitioner, I realize that true peace does not come from making the world be silent, but from maintaining our inner stability amidst a multitude of noises. When your mind is as still as a calm lake, then, even if people throw harsh words or misunderstandings into it, they will automatically sink to the bottom and vanish. Those words cannot foul the inherent pure nature in your heart. Life shows that the more one tries to explain, the more they are misunderstood. The more one tries to argue, the more they lose their poise. True mettle is when you stand before a storm and can still smile because you know exactly who you are, and your value does not lie on the tips of the world's tongues. Focus on returning to care for the lake of your consciousness so that it is always clear and still. When your mind is at peace, no matter where you go or what you encounter, you will find this life gentle and free. There is a very secret fear that many of us often face: the fear of silence. Many people seek the sound of the television, the phone, or endless conversations just to fill the void in their hearts because they fear the feeling of loneliness. But from a Buddhist perspective, silence is not emptiness or coldness. On the contrary, silence is when we become most full. I want you to imagine this: when a glass full of muddy water is set down and kept still, the silt has a chance to settle, returning clarity to the water. Our minds are the same. In silence, we have enough mindfulness to recognize each breath, enough wisdom to see through delusions, and enough self-understanding to know what we truly need amidst a life full of temptations. Have you ever sat alone with a cup of tea in a quiet space and felt your heart become light? That is not loneliness. That is the full presence of the soul. Silence at the right time is a miraculous healing gift we give to ourselves and our loved ones. When you remain silent to listen to the pain of a child or a friend, without rushing to judge or advise, that silence itself has more power to comfort than 10,000 empty words. In daily life, maintaining silence helps us avoid being caught in the meaningless whirlpools of winning or losing arguments or useless gossip. When you speak less, every word you utter afterward will carry a completely different weight. It is no longer trash sound that disturbs others, but words made of wisdom and love. Those words have the ability to illuminate and warm those around you. So my friends, do not fear silence. Treat silence as a soulmate to return to for refuge whenever the outside world is too noisy. When you master silence, you will find you no longer need to strain yourself to express or prove anything. You simply live a full, peaceful, and mindful life. At this point, I hope that these shares help you have a fresh and deeper perspective on the value of speaking less and staying quiet. You can watch the videos I make to find more precious lessons about life and virtue. If you find this content helpful, please joyfully share it with your relatives and friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the Buddha Essence Wisdom channel so we can continue to accompany each other. Wishing you and your family peace in body and mind, and may all things be auspicious.